We are all friends here. There are no strangers when you walk inside that door. We welcome you to linger in this family of love and hold you in our hearts the way you are. There's a reason those words are up there. We are all friends here. There are no strangers when you walk inside that door. We welcome you to linger in this family of love and hold you in our hearts the way you are. One more time. Ready, Donna? We are all friends here. There are no strangers when you walk inside that door. We welcome you to linger in this family of love and hold you in our hearts the way you are. We hold you in our hearts the way you are. Oh, I'm sorry. I would like to present our Reverend Joe Kovach.
We got this down. We got it. It's almost like we've done this a few times. Good morning. Wow, we are lopsided. What is about this? Thank you three. You must be highly energetic because you're balancing all this. So thank you. I make sure I pay attention to everyone. September. It was just a month ago that I was up here with Reverend Marquita. That feels like it was half a year ago already. Things are moving quickly. And I want to welcome you. Welcome to September. Welcome to Centers for Spiritual Living St. George. Welcome everybody online. And at this time, other than welcome, I would like to say a special welcome to anybody that's been here for the first time or maybe even second. If you're new. We won't call you out on the spot. Just want to say hello. Or we may call you out. Your point, did you want to say hello, ma'am? We do. What's your name, ma'am? Glenda. Welcome. Second time. Perfect. Well, welcome for the second time, because I may not have been here. It might have been Reverend Rachel. So have you already received the gift that we usually give? Okay, so let's get on that. Miss Stephanie, would you get a gift for our friend Glenda, please? Oh, never mind. It's coming your way. And I see some youngins in the back. Hi, kids. You here helping out your grandparents? Yeah, is he doing a good job? He might need your help, so pay attention. Okay. Mr. Maestro, let's give us a minute or two of instrumental. I'm just going to ask you to get up and meet your neighbor and greet your neighbor and welcome. All right, my friends, if we can make our way back to our seats. And while you're doing that, I just want to give thanks to our volunteers, our support. Mr. Alan Stanley on music today. Thank you. Christy Ott on sound tech. Christy, you make it look easy. And just in case anybody, again, we're always looking for volunteers. Is that relatively easy to learn?
Oh, it's a piece of cake.
Piece of cake. So, thank you. Thank you. Mr. Practitioner Bill Smith in the back, doing our tech online. He's making it work. Thank you, Bill. His wife Diane was helping in lunch today. That's easy too. Not as easy, but piece of pie. Okay. Jesse was our greeter. Thank you, my brother. Good to see you. Did I miss anybody? All right. So, just a reminder, other than saying thank you to everybody, this is a community, and it takes all of us to make it thrive, right? It's good, but I like thriving. And today I feel like that energy is in that place, thriving. So just thank you for being here, whether you're in person or online. And we're going to smoothly move into, you're terrified of this, aren't you? My daughter Jophiel is going to come up and do the chime today, and might be a little too much for her, I'm not sure. Star, what is it? Academic athlete, but you can't hit a dong, so we'll be fine. You ready? You got that in your head? Yeah. All right. My friends, we're going to move into our Flames of Faith ceremony, and I'm going to ask us all just to start with a collective breath of centering. As a reminder, we perform the Flames of Faith ceremony to promote the universal consciousness of life, which acknowledges that all peoples and all things, all beings, come from one great universal presence, which by many names we like to call spirit. We light the first unity candle, which represents the unifying nature of all religious thought and experience, which we honor here today. And in case you're new, when we hit the gong, we usually just ask that you breathe to yourself and center in. We light a candle for the shamanic traditions, honoring the beliefs and practices of all indigenous peoples, the way of primal spirituality. We light a candle honoring Hinduism, honoring the path of knowledge, action, and devotion. We light a candle for honoring the Tao and the universal path of harmony and equilibrium, the natural way. We light a candle for Judaism, honoring the ethical path of living by sacred law. We light a candle for Buddhism, honoring the Four Noble Truths and the path of compassion. We light a candle for Christianity, honoring the Christ consciousness as the path of love. We light a candle for Islam, honoring the path of compliance with the will of God as the highest calling. You're okay. We light a candle acknowledging all forms of new thought, including Centers for Spiritual Living, a metaphysical path of personal relationship of healing through the practice of universal spiritual principle. We light the next candle, honoring inclusivity, affirming that those that are seeking a stronger knowing and understanding of divine love are welcome here. Nothing exists outside of God. You are welcome here. And we now light the healing candle and invite you to silently offer into the light the names of loved ones, knowing that they are now the perfect expression of Spirit's eternal wholeness and love. Declaring all is good and all is God, we affirm by saying, and so it is. Thank you.
Yes. So we have something special today. A good friend of mine's in town. Name is Kelly Pintico, and we play music around a little bit. And he offered to come in and help out on a couple songs. I am sailing home again, across the sea. I am sailing stormy waters to be with you, to be free. I am flying like a bird across the sky. I am flying, passing high clouds to be near you, to be free. I can hear you through the dark night, far away. I am growing, forever knowing I am with you, so I say. I'm back. We are sailing home again across the sea. We are sailing stormy waters to be near you, to be free. We are sailing home again across the sea. We are sailing stormy waters to be near you, to be free. Oh Lord, to be near you, to be free. Oh Lord, to be near you, to be free. Thank you, Kelly. Now we invite Stephanie up, and Stephanie's going to offer our prayer for us.
I invite you to take a breath inside and just breathe in and just let it go. Let everything in the world go. Right here, right now, there's only one mind. That mind is everywhere, in, through, around, every thought of breathing, every thought of the wind, the fire, the earth, and the sky. It is the ocean that we live in, this atmosphere of God. I like to call it God. Call it whatever you might. It is only one, and I am one with it. And because I know this for myself, I know this for this whole audience. There is no separation. There's no separation in the whole of the world. It is only God. God is. And so I welcome this service this day, knowing that everything that needs to be done and delivered is landing within each of our hearts. Because it lands in mine each and every time. And so I bless this service. I bless all the volunteers. I bless everyone that has come back that I haven't seen for a while. I'm really appreciative. And I let it go, knowing that this ongoing, breathing, loving, divine love that is so beautiful that we are, that I am, is going to carry us throughout the whole entire day. And so I release it into the law. I know it is done. As together we say, and so it is.
A couple decades ago, I became familiar with Martha Beck, who earned a doctorate in sociology from Harvard and is down to earth in her writing. Our topic this week includes living a life that is meaningful beyond measure. In my life, I've noticed a through line that involves listening, beginning with my childhood playmate Susie, who lost her dad when she was 14. And needed a good listener. In high school, I chose to visit nursing home patients to provide a listening ear. In nurses training, a retreat taught the importance of active listening, which I practiced in hospitals. Also, a semester of pastoral care training reinforced good listening before I began hospice work. Living in western Colorado, I began listening to Airbnb visitors who often shared their stories of travel and family and sometimes their challenges. It's meaningful to me to, most days, be a calm, supportive listener. I've chosen a reading from Martha Beck's book entitled Finding Your Own North Star. Quote, though each person's life path is different, I believe that the human journey has some universal aspects. All cultures in every geographic region and historical period have idealized the qualities of truth, love, and joy. I've never had a client who wasn't in search of these things, who didn't feel that a blend of these things is both our real home and the best version of our real nature. You can call the goal heaven, nirvana, the Garden of Eden, enlightenment, joy, the North Star, or Disneyland. I don't really care so long as we have some shorthand label for the ultimate manifestation of our potential for good and happiness, unquote. Many of us at our ages may already have a meaningful passion or purpose in our lives that we may or may not have recognized in our conscious awareness. Some may want to enlarge on that or go another direction. Bless you. I'll close by sharing two sentences from our CSL founder's 1959 farewell sermon by the sea. 3 weeks ago, I attended a wonderful family reunion at Asilomar, California, at the same place where Ernest Holmes had said, in part, if it were not for that which echoes eternally down the corridors of our own minds, some voice that ever sings in our own souls, some urge that continuously presses us forward, there would be no advance in our science or religion or the humanities or anything else. May we be blessed by the love that created us and that we give so freely, unquote.
Thank you. Thank you. I've got to looking around to what we're going to do for music this week, and Kelly's been visiting me, and it's like everything else. It got down to the last minute, and I'm thinking, what is this one song going to be? So I'm looking at, I kind of get a glimpse of the preview of what the message is going to be, and I found that word transcendent. Is that how you say it? Transcendent. So I Googled it. And I found this song. And I believe it's by Amanda Marshall is the girl's name. So I tried to learn it Saturday. Of course, Kelly's used to this. It doesn't matter if I know it or not. He'll be right there with me. Somewhere there's a river looking for a stream. Somewhere there's a dreamer looking for a dream. Somewhere there's a drifter trying to find his way. Somewhere someone's waiting to hear somebody say, I believe in you. I believe in you. And all I want to do is help you to believe in you. Somewhere someone's reaching, trying to grab that ring. Somewhere someone's silent, learning how to sing. Some of us can't move ahead. We're paralyzed with fear. And everybody's listening, 'cause we all need to hear. I believe in you. I can't even count the ways that I believe in you. And all I want to do is help you to believe in you. I will hold you up. I will help you stand. I will comfort you when you need a friend. I will be the voice that's calling out. I believe in you. There'll be things that we can do, yes, I believed in you. Thank you. Kelly Pentico. Thank you. Thank you.
And Kelly. That's a lovely collaboration right there. I believe in you. Some powerful words to people who need to hear that, yes? And so simple to do. I believe in you. I believe that you can do this. I can believe that you can get through this. Aligns perfectly with our theme. Thank you, Alan. We continue to talk this month about purpose. And today's talk, I need the clicker, don't I? Thank you. Sorry, back to regularly scheduled programming. Today's talk is the purpose that surpasses all. And we began talking about this idea of transcendent purpose last week, and the idea that often purpose, this when we question what is life all about, what is my purpose, it tends to come at times of transition, when there's a career shift, when just something happens and challenges us that throws us outside of our normal routine, our normal comfort zone, and causes us to say, okay, what now? Why am I here? What is this all about? And during those times, we tend to also, it shakes us up to the core, because it's like we're doing the best we can, and then when these shifts happen, it almost feels like that's not enough. And it's very easy to go within in a negative fashion and beat ourselves up, because I'm not good enough, that's why this is happening. And we know that in our philosophy, it's about shift is for change, and change is always happening for our good, yes? Always happening for our best and highest good. We just have to attune to that. And to start out with this idea of why we tend to get off track. Oh, am I going the right way? I am. I love Joseph Campbell. If you've never read his books, especially The Power of Myth, I've read it 3 or 4 times for sure, and it's brand new every time I read it. He says, we're so engaged in doing things to achieve purpose of outer value that we forget that the inner value, the rapture that is associated with being alive, is what it's all about. Of course, he also says, follow your bliss. If we do that, follow your bliss, we're following what makes us happy, what enlivens us each and every day, that lights our fire. That is a path of alignment to our purpose. Now, in light of what's happened and been happening, there's a lot of anger in this world that needs to be healed. And what came to me, and I don't think I have a quote. So what I wanted to say with regards to this is, it's really easy to distract ourselves and get engaged in everybody else's life that is outside of ourselves. And not only do we distract ourselves, but it becomes an unconscious excuse to act in a way that doesn't align with the highest good of all. And I think if we watch our news, whether we're talking about the Charlie Kirk assassination or every day, I work at a high school. I see it almost every day. And it doesn't have to be to the level of taking someone's life. Because when we judge someone, when we talk down to someone, anyone, there's a little piece. Think about when someone has said something negative to you. It's almost like a little piece of you dies. And so this philosophy is always going to talk about alignment. And when you are aligned with that higher sense of purpose, you would never even contemplate saying something or doing something that would hurt another, because energetically they don't line up. That's why this practical teaching is so important. That's why you're here, because you know there's a better, freer, fuller way of living. And this is one of the answers I truly believe. And in this philosophy, we understand that purpose is not something that's out there. That's the expression of our purpose. The purpose is always found right here. And we each have a different one, a different expression. In the essence, as we talk about today, it still comes from one source. But that needs us to express. So, in general, we can I don't want to use the word vaguely, generally say, as Ernest Holmes says, the divine plan is one of freedom. Bondage is not God ordained. Freedom is the birthright of every living soul. So to have that free choice, which we do, we are so free to choose that we can choose to believe that we don't have that choice. That's where we go wrong. My life is out of control. It's overwhelming. And so it shall be. Because that beautiful thing that we call the law or God says what? Every single time? Yes. If that's what you want to experience, yes. And then we say, oh, it's so easy. I just have to fine-tune my thoughts to what I want and to the happy things. Isn't that easy? Right? I mean, why are we even here? I just got to think happy thoughts. But that's all part of it. It's all part of our becoming. So let's not pause too long in denying what is and accepting it. So it's about freedom. And when you're aligned with a purpose that is of God, right, then you feel that freedom. You feel the flow. I like to say, I love being in the flow. I learned about that a long time ago in college, and I'm going to blank who actually created it. It'll come to me, Carl Rogers, I believe, who created this idea that when you're in this flow of life, that things align with you. It was like science of mind shortly after there was science of mind, even in psychology. And so our highest purpose will know when we're locked into it because we just feel fulfilled in that moment and then every moment that follows. And it may wane, and that's okay. So I want to look today at 3 dimensions, is what I'm going to call it, of this idea of the purpose that surpasses all. And the first one, pardon me, is our true purpose has to do with recognizing oneness. Now, what is oneness? Oneness is the opposite of separation. What does that mean? A lot of people knew. I'm running into people that keep asking me questions, so I'm going to try to simplify, because if you've been in it for a while, you know what oneness is. You have an idea of oneness is. And even though I have an idea of oneness is, I guarantee you there's a greater expression and experience of that oneness. So oneness is the recognition that there is one source, one creator, and everything is of that. There exists nothing else. You heard me say during the Flames of Faith, there is nothing outside of God, of source, of life. Now, we experience it as separation, as like there's you and there's me, and we call that individualization, not individual. Does anybody know the difference when we say something is individualized versus an individual of? I will be happy to. But I'll bet you have an idea. The simplicity is that you don't lose any characteristics of that you're expressing, right? I'm going to use an analogy, else I was popped into my head. I'm going to save that for later. But I have another example. I want you to picture the idea that you're standing at a shore. Do me a favor, just close your eyes, take a breath, close your eyes, and you're standing on the beach, looking at the ocean, and you can see the waves just forever flowing to you. Each wave appears separate from the others. It grows by itself, it seems. It falls by itself, and then disappears into the ocean. Feels good, doesn't it? You guys don't check out too deeply. I'm still here. Come back. Come back to But we are those waves. And when we recognize that we are one with the ocean, but the wave is an individualization of the whole, of one, that's when we're in our flow. And when we're not experiencing that freedom, that compassion, that joy, then that's when we tend to forget our own essence. And I use that word particularly because I said that the other week, and they said, what do you mean by the word essence? So I'm going to ask you, what do you think, what does the word essence mean to you? Feel free to just shout out an answer. The best? Okay. Yes, young man in the back. Do you have an idea? You can't be wrong. Any answer works. Okay, well, thanks for playing. That's like proper answer, right? We don't know. The core. Say again? Nature. Yeah, it's our nature that is separate from this thing that we call a personality, an ego, an identification. When we are that which we naturally are, where we naturally come from, which is spirit. So that's our essence. And it's divine. Oh, I skipped one. Holmes describes this idea of oneness as unity. He says we live in a universe of unity, a perfect pattern of wholeness, and we are each part of that pattern. And I've used the example before. It's like an infinite puzzle, and you are that piece. And that puzzle cannot exist without the piece that you are. That's how important you are. And we are of that, and we are, in essence, different in ways than every other piece, and we serve a different purpose, yet we are all of one great life, one great picture, one great becoming. The second dimension I want to talk about is this idea of expressing the divine as us uniquely. That puzzle example was a good example, right? It's again, when we get outside of ourselves, when we get caught up in the world of effects and try to figure out who we are from the outside in, that's when we tend to experience the challenges that we do. And even life, God is so wonderful and so intelligent, we can still find our way back even if we did it backwards. Because everything is going to remind us and is an opportunity to go back to our true essence. Okay? And that's, again, what our teaching does extremely well. So there is what we call God and source and spirit, right? And it's all one, it's all happening, and it's happening uniquely through you. You are a unique expression. And thank God, because that's what we're all trying to do, is what a wonderful way of trying to figure out what all of life is, as expressing in and through infinite numbers and ways of expressing. We talked about mirrors a number of months ago. I talked about Endura's web, like a spider web, and each cross-section was a unique reflection, and each cross-section, each point is a reflection of the whole within it. Right? You are a divine center point of God consciousness, and what you do with that is always perfect, no matter what it seems like on the outside, because you're doing the best you can with what you have and where you're at. Where have you heard that before? Arise, yes. It's our practice. So, now when we talk about oneness, and in the beginning, it took me a while to understand it as well, because I'm like, I like the idea of oneness, but I like the idea of being me. I don't know if I want to be one, because I don't know what that looks like as the whole. But oneness doesn't mean sameness. And within oneness, this idea, you don't lose who you are. You never could, because you are that specific, in essence, ray of sunshine that can only experience all that is as you. I heard it the other day through a video I was watching online, and it made a lot of sense. And someone was asking the person, like, will we ever get to that singular point of understanding all of life? And the reply was, you may, but even if you do, you can only experience it through you. You experiencing all that is. And like, to me, when things align and make sense, they just like, that makes sense, because I can't experience it all at the same time through everyone else, and I am that everyone else. So it's kind of like, I almost thought about it like when you're going on a Ferris wheel and you wait for that tippy top view, right? So you get the highest view and you're like, there it is. And then you're like, all right, let me try this again. And you go around again and experience everything that you can. And so you're doing that uniquely as you. So what does that mean? What does that mean that God is expressing through you uniquely? Well, it means that everything that you are, all those things that you maybe wish I wasn't, I don't know about you, but listening to my own voice on videos still freaks me out no matter how many times I heard it, because I'm like, that's not me, but it is me. It's my unique voice. Love it or hate it, it is what it is. And all my quirks and my sense of humor and my way of doing things and my way of missing things. For example, we were driving up here today, and my wife said, "Oh my God, did you see her?" I'm like, "What are you talking about?" I'm looking all around me in cars. She goes, "You just drove by a woman with a backpack and dragging a suitcase." And I looked back, and she was in red. How did I miss that on the side of the road? I mean, what else is there to look at, right? Wasn't there. I had my own unique, perfect vision of what I was looking at the time. And that's good, right? Again, we don't want to get to the point to where there's harmony and everybody looks like a carbon copy of everybody else. I think that would be, if you follow Star Trek, that would be like the Borg, right? Everybody's just a carbon copy. Yes, this is what we do. There's no real true expression through that. So I urge you to spend that time and tap into what you truly love to do. And we're going to expand on that more in a minute. The next and final of the day dimension is your purpose is to serve love itself. Ernest Holmes says, I skipped that one, so we're going to skip it now anyway. Love is the self-givingness of spirit through the desire of life to express itself in terms of creation. Take that in again. Love is the self-givingness of spirit. So when we're tapped in and feeling and coming from a place of love and expressing love, that is the highest form of creation. We overlook it. It doesn't have to be difficult. It can be quite easy. It can be acknowledging the cashier by name, because they all have name tags. "Martha, how are you doing today? How's your day going?" And whatever they say, just, "Hey, thank you for being here today." I love, one of the things I like doing is at my school is I go out during their lunch, and I look for the ones that are alone, and I make sure that they feel noticed. And it's just a joy to do that. And sometimes they want to be left alone, and I honor that. I just let them know I see them. Is there anything you need? No. Let me know if there is. Moving on. And it just invites love into that space. And when people are ready, they will come. I don't know about you, but how many times have you got an email of some place, and you just keep deleting it? I don't even know why. I don't unsubscribe. And then one day you're like, I need that. That's why I didn't unsubscribe. It showed up at the perfect time in the perfect way. That's love being expressed. And love is the highest purpose of the soul. Right? It's that deep current that binds us with life itself. So this is the example I wanted to use earlier. I want you to think, I was actually going to go buy candles, and after all this, and just before I went out and bought them, I realized we're not allowed to have open flames in here. So use your imagination, and I want you to imagine that there's a table and a big candle right here, and it's lit, and there's a good-sized flame, and that you each had a candle, and I asked you to walk up here and light your candle from that one candle. What would you notice about the candle? Did this candle decrease at all in any way, shape, or form? No. It just gave of itself. And it gave to something that was like itself. That's you. So spirit gives to spirit, and spirit is never depreciated. Spirit can never be limited in any way, shape, or form, no matter what we do with our own individual candles. And if this room was dark, the more each of us allowed that light, that love through us, the room gets brighter. It must be. It's law. Universal law. And so I want you to think of that when you're experiencing challenges, darkness, or even somebody else's. One, to remember that there's always that flame of the divine. Always. And if we're not experiencing it, okay, we can turn to it. Now, some in Christianity would call that the Christ, right? Buddhism will call it the Buddhism. It's just a level of consciousness is what that means. Christ consciousness, right? The Buddha mind. It's all the idea of recognizing that everything is here right now. but we're simply not aware of it. And I don't know about you, but there's days where it's like, why is it just so hard to be happy? And then I have to realize my mind wants to go outside immediately. Well, I'm tired, and this happened, and that happened, and then you have to do all these things, and have you looked at your calendar lately? And then there's times when I could do all that, and I don't even realize I did it because I'm just in that flow. That candle is never extinguished, and the more that I light that candle within me and allow it to burn, the more my life flourishes, and I feel as if I'm aligned with purpose. So, in closing, the purpose that surpasses all is not necessarily a thing. It's not a career, it's not a role, it's not a relationship, right? It's much deeper than that. And some levels of understanding when you're at that purpose point is awakening to oneness, is expressing the divine uniquely as yourself and as love. Ernest Holmes reminds, oh, wait, back up. I didn't write cool. So I didn't have a slide for this, but I'll say. He says, the universe holds nothing against us. It ever seeks to pour its abundance into our experience. It flows through us in love, in wisdom, in joy. The part that I like about that is it ever seeks to pour. What does that mean? That faucet's always on. That ocean is always flowing. We can see ourselves outside of it, or we can recognize that we're always in it. And if I'm always in it, and I know it's perfect in every way, shape, or form, and I'm having this experience trying to understand that, then if I'm not experiencing things to the highest level of my ability, then there's something that I can do about that. And it does come with the power of free will, of choice. That is the blessing. And so, as you know, being a teacher, I want to leave you with something that I've been using, and it's been changing my life. And I probably found it about 2 months ago, and I thought, why not share that? And so it's something called the 5-step formula for alignment. And you can Google this. It's by a gentleman, 2 people named Daryl Anka and a gentleman named Bashar. Some of you already know who that is, maybe? Okay, so you know where I'm getting it from. So I'm going to explain it. I'm not a master of this. If you enjoy it, I would say look it up, because Daryl does a much better job than I do. But he talks about 1. It says, take action on the opportunity that contains the highest amount of excitement, passion, curiosity. And he's not just talking about this one grand purpose that you're living, but in every moment that you think about it. And then he says, I'm going to read what he says here, shares. He says, act on your highest passion. Take action on the one thing that excites you the most at any given moment. This serves as a form of communication between your physical mind and your higher self. No new opportunities can appear until you act on the passion that is currently in front of you, which makes sense, right? If I'm going to give you something and you keep throwing it away and saying no, then why would I continue to give it to you? Now, it's always there, right? But if you're not aligning with it, it ceases to be. Any questions on that? Sounds simple enough. Follow your bliss, right? That's what he's saying. 2, act on that excitement to the best of your ability as long and as far as you can. Until you can take it no further, or until the excitement wanes. Then choose the next highest path of excitement. Now for this, he says, as you're doing that, pursue your chosen passion as fully as you can. Even if the action seems unrelated, following your highest passion ensures they are all connected to your true purpose. So part of this is the understanding that we deal with an infinite intelligence. It knows the best way. We tend to think linearly. I want to go experience that. And we want to go in a straight line. And then I end up over here and go, oh, I'm doing it wrong. But that's when I'm not looking at being aware. If I come over here and I recognize, okay, how am I feeling? Is it still feeling like flow? Am I still feeling our purpose? Then there's a reason I'm here. There's a reason you're here today. It's part of your becoming. Step 3 is act on that excitement with absolute zero insistence or assumption with respect to a specific outcome. Ouch, what does that mean? Now he says release any insistence on outcome. perform the actions without having a fixed expectation of what the results should be. Why? This allows the universe to deliver the best possible outcomes for you, which may be different from what you had imagined. In other words, we got to trust that thing that we call God all the time, that higher intelligence, that higher us. Remember, when I use the word God or source, it's not something other than us. We are in it, but it has a different perspective. We recognize that. Just like when I was experiencing myself as a kindergartner, okay, I now have different experiences of that. And if that little kindergarten was tapping into me, in my view, I could help it. And this is an infinite mind. And so what he says, though, is, and I want to share that this made more sense to me, is you can have an idea of what it's going to look like, but just don't be attached to that. Be open for something. This, as we pray, or something greater. 4, stay in a positive state no matter what manifests. Ow! I wanted this. This is not what's showing up. If we're experiencing that, that means we're attached to that outcome, and now we're stopping that flow. So, in other words, once again, trusting that intelligence within yourself, if you're doing everything and you're doing everything to the best of your ability and it feels good, no matter where you are, you're good. When you feel good, you're good. Now, we may trick ourselves, so the last step has to be with examining your belief systems occasionally and identifying any one that where it's causing you to feel that limitation, that lack, that struggle, that slowness. All of a sudden you start beating yourself for whatever reason. Pause, right? All those fearful thoughts, negative thoughts, okay, that's all based in the past. And what this helps us do is stay present in the flow. I'm always that ocean. I'm always that wave. And as that wave, I may not always recognize, I know I want to get to the shore, but at first there's a rock in the way, so I'm going to turn this way and I'm going to turn that way. But I trust that the experience that I'm looking to have will be the one that it's perfect for me. And it's kind of like going to, hopefully I do this right, or well. So let's say, why can't you do something? Or what do you want to have, right? If you could have anything. And I want a car. I want an Audi. Why do you want the Audi? Well, I would just feel better sitting in an Audi. It's like I've made it. It's comfortable. I deserve that. Well, what if you didn't have the Audi? Like what is that really giving you? What's the feeling? Well, I feel like I'm powerful, like I'm choosing and it's coming to be. Okay, so let's just pause there. So if you had that experience and it wasn't an Audi, but you had that experience that was even better, that made you feel like you were locked in and a manifesting and a creator in your own, co-creator in your own world, would that work for you? Working. Okay. Whoa. I just wanted to share this with you, and again, I urge you to search it. You can go back and look at the name, Daryl Anka. He's an amazing source of information, and they're popping up all over the place. That Spirit expresses uniquely in, through, and as everyone.
You just want to finish this way?
Yeah, that's fine. I'm just about done. And so it's about, he says, being consistent, following the formula, following your bliss, and what he says is that we'll pay attention to the synchronicities in life, right? I'm looking around and maybe some of the young ones, the real young ones here, we can all kind of recognize in our lives of how there were experiences that I wouldn't want to go through, but I also wouldn't want to remove them from my life because they ended up helping me in a way that I didn't know I needed help. Yes? That's synchronicity. That's the infinite mind and infinite intelligence saying, okay, I understand what you really want. Let me help you get there. It may not look exactly like you want it to, but trust me, I got this. Take a deep breath. All right, let's go into our affirmation. I'm going to ask everybody to stand up so we can recite it together We're going to do it twice, one time just to say it through, and one time with a little more gumption. So on the countdown, 3, 2, 1, I am a vessel of love, living in the unity of all life. I joyfully express my unique divine purpose as love. All right, breathe. Feel that flame within you. Feel that joy within you. Feel that connection within you. Here we go. 3, 2, 1. I am a vessel of love, living in the unity of all life. I joyfully express my unique divine purpose as love, and so it is. Please be seated. Oh, I will finish with prayer. Just going to anchor this in as we do. 5-step prayer. 1 is recognizing. What do I recognize? I recognize life, one life, God, and everything is of God, of source, of spirit, of the universe. Call it what you will. It has infinite names and it expresses itself infinitely. I experience it as love, as joy. And I am that love. I am that joy. I am that life. I am of spirit right here, right now. And I know the truth is that everything being expressed is of God. I am grateful. I am grateful to have this awareness. I am grateful to know that I am free to choose. I am grateful to know that I am aligned with the infinite, most powerful co-creator there is, and I can only express that through my life as I open myself to it uniquely. And I feel good about me. I feel good about co-creating the life that I want to co-create. And I don't beat myself up any longer. I release those limiting thoughts, anything based in fear, that I choose, and I choose to be aware of the synchronicities in my life. I choose to act from love. I choose to recognize everyone and everything as of the one life being expressed. So I expressed myself in the highest activities, in the highest actions, in the highest mannerisms. And when I see others not doing so, I recognize and see their true essence, their true self, that they are experiencing their own life, and I bless them by seeing their perfection even as that. And yet, I call to that light within them, and I see it burning bright. I see them turning to that light, that love, that positive feeling within that says, I am someone special. And so are they. And so is everyone else. And I turn to this community and recognize with love and compassion and gratitude the way that it is evolving perfectly. I'm grateful for everyone present in person, present online, and present that will ever watch this video, knowing that they too are an individualized candle of the whole, that life is always working for our best and highest good, and that all there is love. And so it is. Into our time of abundance, practicing abundance. Is that me? Okay. Everyone here knows how to give. I just want to make sure if you're here that you recognize we do have an offering bowl, and around that bowl are affirmation cards. So we practice the law of giving and receiving. So as you give, please take a affirmation card. If you've already given online, that's all right. We understand how that works too. Please feel free to go up and get an affirmation card. And we're going to give you a few minutes. We have envelopes if you would like to use those. And someone actually gave a testimonial last time we were in person. So thank you. What does that mean? We want to hear that as you're using these practices and principles, how your life is changing. And that's one way of doing it. Of course, you can always email any of us to share that information. But it really, it helps me. It helps us. Because then I share that with everyone. And, sharing in your joy shares in the joy that is all of life. So thank you. You can also do that on the card on the back. And for now, maybe we can have Ellen and would you like to join us for a minute? Oh, we got to do our offering, affirmation. Thank you. Mr. Harmonica Man, I'm sorry I'm blanking your name already. Kelly, I was going to say Elv. If you want to come up and play for a moment too, that's up to you. But let's affirm this together, affirming that I am overflowing first, before the music. I am overflowing with love and abundance. I give from the source of my being, which is rich and unlimited. With joy and excitement, I share from this overflow. In return, the universe gives back to me in infinite ways, channels, and means, and so it is. Now, you may go ahead and move about.
I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful for all that I have. I am so blessed, I am so blessed, I am so grateful, I am so blessed.
So, Steph, are you going to be able to handle that? Would you like help?
I just have to get up.
Okay. So join me in knowing, and I like to hold out my hands. I feel more powerful that way. We're grateful for the abundance of all life, and life shows itself in infinite ways, and we accept this idea of money, that it allows us to flourish, it allows us to bless others, and we know that those that bless us are blessed back, multiplied. So it is the giving and receiving of life. It is law, it is love, and we just say thank you, and so it is.
And so it is. Thank you.
Now announcements, is that you too? I think it. Steph, are you doing announcements?
Yeah,
I know, I'm just asking. We're on track.
One of these days I'll be that child again that can just zip. Okay, don't touch the mic. Okay. There's no Zoom conversation today at noon, so email your questions and comments to Reverend Joe at CSLSGeorge.org. Our next in-person service is September 28th. Mission Impossible. That'll be exciting. Mission Possible. See? See how the mind gets in the way of the mind? Okay, details are in the newsletter. Prayer request. Our practitioners are available for a moment of prayer today and online. You can email us at cslstgeorge.org/about, or like I said, it's in the email. Browse our collection of spiritually inspiring and uplifting books. I know I have. I've bought a couple back there and really enjoy them at home. Donate to any book that is relevant for you. And leave a love offering for it. It's located in the back of the room, and it's really nice to look at and finally have a kind of a book club here, bookstore here. Your gifts make a difference. Step into service and help our community thrive. We have many volunteer opportunities, which we mentioned in the beginning. Soundboard tech, video streaming tech, greeters, kitchen support. Your hands, your heart, and your home are all welcome here. Upcoming Sundays, we have September 21st online Elevation of Awareness, and September 28th in person, Mission Possible. Got it right that time. Okay, we're giving a class, and it will be online. It'll be 10-week Zoom class. Each session is about 3 hours.
It's the last week they can join.
This is the last week that you can join that. Oh, interesting. Okay. So this entire week, this week coming up.
Last week, and you have 1 week that you're allowed to miss. And just as a reminder, the fee does not have to be paid until the last week, so you don't have to pay for that up front.
Oh, okay. So that is good to know, and you can pay in installments during too,
Correct.
if you choose. It's a good way to understand how we pray and why prayer is an affirmative point, and it comes from an action that has already been accomplished. And so we teach that, and it's great. It's a great class. I've had it 2 or 3 times now, so it's good to have. So we do have more volunteer opportunities for raffles and prizes for our event of the installments ceremony that we're going to be offering our reverends to, and a get-together to where we can really have fun together, have dinner, and live music and dancing and all kinds of things that we would love to do with each other. Okay, and is this something that you want to talk about,
I just
Reverend
want to
Jeff?
make sure that everybody that wants to go, let me speak real quick. So we do need you to RSVP because, there's food involved. We need to make sure that there's enough food. And while there is a cost, we're welcoming everybody. If you find that you're in a place, we have already had people make donations for people who can't afford the whole thing. So basically pay what you will, but we want everybody to be there. It's a big deal in the sense of our first big gala together, and it's as much as it is honoring myself as your spiritual leader and Reverend Rachel as well. It's us coming together. And that's why we call it a wedding. So it's just celebrating this community, and I think it's a beautiful and big step in our evolution. So if you can, yes, question?
It was pretty challenging for me to do it online, even though I accomplished it, and wondered if there's another way for some people to pay for it.
I will say, if you have any problems, either email our main email or myself, and we'll contact you, because technically we could do it for you if that has to happen. Yeah, if you just let us know you're coming, that's the big one. Maria, can you remind me when our deadline is for food that we have to let them know?
Well, 2 weeks before,
All right, so we have a little bit of time left.
so October 1st is what I thought.
Yeah. So if you have any questions, let me know afterwards, please.
Okay, Let There Be Peace on Earth. Is that what you're going to sing?
That's what we're
Well, then let's all
Yes.
stand up and
So
sing.
if I may, one of Alan's announcements, Kelly and I will be playing at George's Corner this coming Thursday, which is the 18th, from 7:30 to 9:30. It's downtown. It's 2 hours of all original music that I made up, or you can say I wrote. And so we're honored that they're having us back. This is the second month in a row. And so if you got a chance, they have great food. Come on out to George's Corner Thursday from 7:30 to 9:30. Thank you.